The Sheffield astrophysics student is among the finalists to be selected for a one-way mission to Mars. Do you think life on Mars is a realistic future for mankind?
The temperature on Mars ranges from -89 to -31 degrees Celsius. However, the average temperature on Mars is -63 degrees Celsius. In our solar system, Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. The length of a day on Mars is 24.66 hours, which is similar to Earth's, and this means it's good for sleeping patterns. The mass of Mars is 0.64 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. This is 10.7% of the Earth's mass. The atmosphere on Mars consists of 95% carbon dioxide, 2.7% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and less than 1% of carbon monoxide and oxygen.
Travelling to Mars. Spacecraft must be launched to the point where Mars and Earth are closest together. This is opposition. The distance between Earth and Mars at this point is 55 million kilometres, and the total journey time will be around 150 to 300 days. On a long journey like this, food, air and water must be provided to sustain life. Food would have to be effectively grown, but use of animals for food may pose a problem since they would be in direct competition with humans. Water will be obtained from recycling urine and perspiration, but this is only a limited solution to the problem. It may also be obtained from the leaves, stems and roots of some plants. Breathable air requires about 20% oxygen, which can be obtained by chemically separating CO2, although this will take energy, which must be obtained from the fuel source. Proper shielding from radiation must be considered on a long space journey. However, this is a problem we are currently unable to deal with. One possible fuel is a nuclear fuel, where hydrogen is heated in a fusion reactor and then forced out to provide thrust. Another possible fuel is an antimatter rocket, as matter and antimatter react violently to produce energy, although this would be extremely expensive.
Mars One has said they will establish a permanent human settlement on Mars. Crews will forward about every 2 years starting in 2024. The Mars habitat will be a modular environment made of multiple inflatable units and will comprise about 250 m³ per inhabitant for a team of 4. It is not feasible to send essential elements such as water, oxygen and food from Earth, so they will be reduced on Mars. The astronauts will eat fresh food that they produce on Mars. Food production will happen indoors, lighted by LED lighting. By providing the plant with only the frequencies of light that they use most efficiently, power consumption is limited. Splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen can produce oxygen. The oxygen will be used to provide a breathable atmosphere in the living units, and a portion will be stored in reserve for conditions where there is less power available. For water, it can be extracted from the soil. About 1,500 litres of reserve water will be sorted into each life support unit. Since Mars has gravity, water can be used in the same way as on Earth. Mars One will advise the first settlement inhabitants not to attempt to have children. This is because in the first years, the Mars settlement is not a suitable place for children to live. The human ability to conceive in reduced gravity is not known, neither is there enough research on whether fetuses can grow normally under these circumstances. Mars One recognising having children is vital, therefore this will be an important point of research. Living on Mars cannot be considered entirely risk-free, in particular during the first few years. There are a number of elements that could pose a problem. An essential component of this settlement could be affected. There is a chance that an astronaut might not survive if his or her Mars suit were to become seriously damaged during a mission outside of the habitat. Certain medical conditions are not treatable on Mars. Obviously, Mars One will extensively examine and trial run all elements of the mission beforehand to preempt any mishaps, especially the settlement's critical parts.